Hi, happy Monday, everyone. I hope you guys had a great weekend. And I know some of you, if you're in the States, it's a holiday. And if you're out and about, not a problem. But I just wanted to hop on and utilize a couple hours of my time to review resumes. And this is a popular request that I get all the time is, hey, can you review my resume? So I decided that I will offer free resume reviews through this live segment. So if you want to get a resume review, you do have to hop on this live call with me, and I will be more than happy to review your resume. I'm going to drop the link in the comment section so that you can just hop on the studio StreamYard and join and share your resume, and I will be able to review. But before we kick off the segment, let's see who's actually live with us. Who is live? Tell me in the comment section. Don't be afraid. Say hello, say hi. Tell me where you tuning in from as well. So I would love to hear from you as well. So let's get the comments going. Don't be shy. If you're tuning in from LinkedIn Live, just say live LinkedIn. If you're YouTube, tell me you're joining in from YouTube. So these are the two platforms that we are live from. So let me know in the comment section. And I'm going to drop the link where you can actually hop on to get the resume review as well. So let's get the comments coming. Okay, also tell me, how's your weekend? Did you guys have fun? Are you keeping it safe? Hi, Yvonne. Yvonne, I think it's pronounced. Hello, hello. Where are you from? Tell me in the comment section. Also, I want to share some good news. Next week, I am conducting a 5-day boot camp on landing your next 200, 500K role. And this is a training that's going to be over 5 days. It's free to join. So if you want to join, let me know in the comment section. I'd be happy to send the information for you as well. So a lot of great stuff is happening. And one of the biggest thing is, if you don't already know me, my name is Gurpreet Korman. I'm a career growth expert. I have 20 years of experience working in corporate HR. And one of my biggest driving force is to help employees or individuals like you, corporate career professionals, to never be taken advantage by employers and have yourself in a situation where you're desperate to land a job so that you're just constantly like underpricing yourself and underselling yourself. And I see this all the time happening. I've been engaged in so many conversations that so many people, it breaks my heart to see how many people are underselling, cutting their pay, and taking lower paying salary jobs just to land a job. And to me, that's something you shouldn't do because companies will take advantage of that. And I'm here to assist you so that you don't get taken advantage of. So, when it comes to job searching, your resume does become the most crucial document. I was hearing a podcast today where a recruiter shared that she received like 1,500 resumes and 1,300 plus 87% of it gone into the trash, delete trash, right? And here's the thing, this is the reality. This is actual truth that's what's going to happen. So if you can be the strongest candidate, you can be the best candidate, but if you're not able to demonstrate that in a way that speaks to the recruiter, speaks to the hiring manager, they're not going to call you for the interview. So communication, effective communication, your ability to demonstrate that is at play, is the most important piece. Now, is it fair to have your resume thrown in trash? No, not at all, right? And trust me when I say this, I've been recruiting for 20 years. Nobody wants to do this. Nobody wants to do it. But when you have so many candidates applying for that one job, you're going to implement processes and systems in place so that you only get to see qualified candidates. You also want to be able to get through that, screen those incoming resumes as fast as possible so that you can get on the calls with the right candidates and start interviewing them. So when it comes to resume, the most important piece here is to demonstrate in a way that speaks to the recruiters and speaks to the hiring managers. Now, many of you are not even aware that there's not one way to communicate. You actually need to impress 5 different types of recruiters and hiring managers in order for your resume to land you interviews. So I teach this in my resume writing course, the 5 types of recruiters. There are actually 5 types. So there are recruiters who are already sold on you and ready to call you and schedule an interview. And that's actually the power of LinkedIn. Maybe they found your resume in the database or through a job portal like LinkedIn, Indeed. And boom, they're already sold. This is where your LinkedIn recommendations come in play, right? I see a lot of people are not utilizing the LinkedIn profiles properly. There's no recommendations. You know what? Your competition is beating you at it. Someone has those recommendations done. They have the LinkedIn profiles complete. So it's really, really important that we understand the different types of recruiters and how they recruit, what moves them. Same thing with hiring managers, what moves them. So one of the things I do teach inside my resume writing course, which is a digital course, and it's just 3 hours long, and you can actually sign up right now and learn how to write a resume that will land you interviews from a lens of that, wait a minute, there's not one type of recruiter. There's not one type of hiring managers. I've interviewed almost eight people, VPs to recruiters to talent acquisitions from top-notch companies, sharing their inside knowledge with you, answering all the questions like how they look, what they look for on a resume. That's also part of my resume writing course as well. So the key here is that your resume has to also have the language that speaks to the recruiter and the hiring manager. What I found is a lot of times we are communicating the way we are used to communicating and how we want to communicate, or the way we've been taught how to write a resume, like result oriented, result driven. And we just talking about ourselves. I can do this. I have this skill and this skill and this skill. And then when it gets to our experience section, we're just telling what we can do, what we've done in the role, and our duties and responsibilities. That's not going to land you a job in today's world. Times changed. Times have changed. Here's the thing. We are no longer to want to know your objectives. We are no longer just interested that you can do a job, that you can follow the tasks, you can complete the tasks, you can follow a job description. Everybody's looking for the best talent out there, someone who's a superhero, a ninja. You've heard these terms before. And here's the thing, here's the kicker. If you're not able to show them that you can add value to them, that they will profit from hiring you, that you are profitable, you're going to save them money, you're going to save them time or speed up time, you're going to be left behind. And you know what's going to happen? When you're not landing interviews, naturally, you end up having low confidence. Naturally, you're going to start to apply to thousands of jobs out there because now you're acting from fear base because you just want a job now, right? So let me apply to all the jobs available that I can do. I see this common mistake being made over and over and over by endless career professionals who are currently on the hunt for the next role and still can't land interviews. So good news is I'm here to solve that problem for you today. I'm here to look at your resume, tell you what's working, tell you what's not working, so you can make it better, so that you can increase your chances of landing interviews. So let's begin. I'm going to drop, here's the link. Okay, I've dropped the link. Get your resume review from me. You have to join this me in this studio. And I know some of you get my emails. So if you're my email list, then you already have the link and you're able to join. So let's do this, okay? I apologize for the background noise. Kids are off from school, so if you hear the noise, those are my nephews playing video games. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section below, and I will be more than happy to answer any questions you may have, okay? So this session I'll be doing every week on every Monday. I will be going live to review your resume. Feel free to hop on and get your resume reviewed. What's your favorite dinosaur? Don't have one. Interesting. Thank you. Let me know if you have any questions. How's your day going? My day is going excellent. It's going amazing. Thank you for asking. How is your day coming along? Hi, Vipin. So, welcome to the resume review. If you are here to get your resume review, please let me know. And in the what I would like from everybody is to have your resume ready to share in order to get a resume review. So, who would like to go next? Vipin, you are muted. You have to unmute to speak. Hello? So Vipin, you are muted, cannot hear you. So I kindly request that you unmute yourself. Okay, so those that are joining on, okay, so some people are having difficulty. Okay, Cece?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Are you still doing reviews right now?
Yes, I am.
Okay. How are you? Sorry,
I'm
it's gonna
great. How are
just
you?
go straight into that. I'm good. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
Okay. Um, I guess how does it work? Do I upload it or how do I?
You just have to share your screen. You don't have to
Oh,
upload it. You can just have your resume open, share your screen, and then I'll be able to review your resume. Just a full disclosure, this segment is being streamed live onto social media platforms like LinkedIn and YouTube.
okay.
Um, so if you're not comfortable having your resume be reviewed publicly, then I would suggest booking a private review.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think I will do that also because I'm on my phone. I primarily wanted to like listen in and just to take the opportunity to see how you do resume reviews. Um, but I think I'm gonna have. I'd prefer to book an appointment.
Yeah, so for private reviews, I want to be transparent upfront. I do charge a small fee for that.
I understand. Yep, I understand.
This is the only segment where I will do free complimentary reviews. Uh,
Okay,
Obviously, you just have to be comfortable. And I get it. Some people don't want their resumes reviewed. Um,
publicly, yeah.
yeah, so you can book one. So here's the link. I'll
Okay,
drop it.
okay. Thank you.
You're
Thank-
welcome.
Yeah, and for me, the biggest thing is I'm on my phone right now. To be honest, I'm not close to my desk to get my laptop to be able to display it. So
No problem. So I just dropped the link in the private chat
okay,
to book the resume review. Yeah.
okay, I got it. Thank
Okay.
you so much.
And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Still waiting for others to have others to join.
Okay, got it. Thank
Yeah.
you again.
You're welcome.
All right, bye.
Bye bye. Okay, so guys, I understand if you don't want to have your resume review publicly, you can actually book a private resume review with me. I've dropped the link. If you are in the studio with me, you do have to feel comfortable to have me review your resume publicly. We are streaming this segment live on LinkedIn and YouTube. The reason I do these live segments, I get so many people requesting to do complimentary, like free resume reviews. And I came out with this concept, this idea to do them live so that everyone can benefit from me reviewing someone's resume. So it's trying to help as many people as possible. And if you don't want that, not a problem. You can always book a private resume review session with me, and we'll hop on Zoom and we'll get it done. So we got James, but James, it says your device not connected. I know a lot of people are off. It's a long weekend here in the States. Again, if you want me to review your resume, just hop on live into this live segment with me on in behind the scenes. So you, in order to get your resume review by me today, you have to hop on this live call behind the scenes in the studio. StreamYard is the studio I use, which is a streaming platform. So come on into the studio. I've dropped the link, and then you'll be able to get your resume reviewed by me, but it will be a public setting. Okay, so Nikhil, you have to unmute to speak.
Hello. Yeah. Hi, Gurpreet.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. So, do you want to get your resume review?
Yeah, sure. Just give me a moment. I'm pulling it over.
Okay, so this is a great question. If we private message and do a Zoom call, is that still free? No. If that's not a free session, only my LinkedIn Lives or YouTube Lives, this is the only free segment. So if you want to private message me and you want to do a Zoom private session with me, it is a $50 fee. I've dropped the link. Feel free to book it. That's the alternative. If you don't feel comfortable having your resume reviewed by me on a public platform, full disclaimer, guys, this is being publicly streamed onto LinkedIn as well as YouTube. So if you do want to have a private review, I offer that as a paid service. So I hope that answers this question. Are you ready, Nikhil?
Yeah. Do you want me
Okay.
to start presenting?
You have to share your screen in order for me to review your resume.
Yeah. Is my screen visible?
Nope.
Okay.
How often do I have these free resume sessions? I do them once a week, every Monday.
I hope it's visible now.
Give me 1 second. Okay. Can you make it bigger?
And yeah, this.
Okay, so tell me, are you currently looking for a job?
I'd say yeah. I mean, I'm currently working, but then I'm still open for opportunities around. I'm applying
Okay.
it.
My question is, are you currently searching for a new role?
Yeah,
Yes. Okay. How long have you been applying to jobs?
I'd say I started very recently, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah,
Okay. How many roles have you applied to?
50, between 50 to 100.
Between 50 to 100? Okay. And how many first call of interviews have you landed? The first
Uh,
initial calls.
I'd say the screening rounds, a couple
Yeah.
of them.
So out of the 50 or 100, like it's either you've applied to 100 jobs or 50 jobs or 60 or 70. So which one? Just a rough figure.
I'd say 50 to 60.
Okay, out of the 60, let's go 60. Out of the 60, how many first initial calls have you done?
I think two.
Okay, so that means your resume is barely converting to interviews.
Sorry, Gurpreet, I couldn't hear you there.
You've applied to 60 roles, only you've landed 2 interviews, the first
Yeah,
call. Your resume is converting 3% of the time, meaning your resume is
Mhm.
converting into interviews only
Correct.
3%. Okay. How many pages is this resume? One.
This is
Okay.
one page. Yeah.
So one-page resume is probably one of the major reasons why you're not landing interviews. So let's turn this into 2-page resume. Also, if you can just please go from right to the beginning. Right behind your last name, you can add your credentials. So whatever credentials you have, just add the letters behind your last name, so right away someone knows what they are. Product manager with 3+ years of experience in strategy and analytics consulting and entrepreneurship. Okay, so you're saying you're product manager with 3 years experience in strategy analytics. You're just listing the things you can do instead of saying you're a product manager with 3 years experience and listing actual industries that you have any experience. So I would convert that into list the industries that you have experience in. Proven, just stay. Don't move the resume.
Okay.
I get emotion sickness. So proven expertise in driving product vision, leveraging customer insights, and implementing data-driven strategies to deliver measurable outcomes. So this is so generic and general statement that you're saying that you have proven expertise and in driving product vision, leveraging customer insights, implementing data-driven strategies to deliver measurable outcomes. But what's when you use the word proven, you actually have to show the proof, the actual thing. Look, what I'm not sure what you're trying to communicate here. And then you're saying to deliver measurable outcomes, but yeah, you don't talk about the outcome you have proven track record of delivering. For example, I'm not using a product manager, but I'm going to use like a salesperson, for example, proven track record of closing 2 million revenue deals annually, or can boost revenues by X amount. Like you can't just say proven expertise and then just list 3-4 things that you can do. Proven expertise is a powerful statement, and we want to actually showcase what's that proven track record you have that gives companies ROI.
Right.
And then you just talk about cross-functional collaboration. Okay, so that's why I'm not a big fan of profile summaries, because profile summaries is just you talking about yourself. If you want to land interviews in today's world, you have to understand that the market is highly competitive. Like I just listened to a podcast where a recruiter was saying that she received 1,500 resumes and 80% of them were gone into deleted. You're dealing with high volume competition. Regardless if it's high or low, anytime you're applying to jobs online, this is a competition. So it's a battlefield out there. How are you going to win? How are you going to be the one that lands interviews? You cannot write profile summary. You can't just sit there and talk about yourself and expect that you're going to land interviews. What you need to do is you got to see it from the end reader's perspective. What's important to them? What are they looking for? What type of problems they want you to be solved? What results do they want? How are you going to make the money or save time? If you're product manager, I don't know if this is what type of product manager are you? Like even when you say product managers being very, very generic, you want to really speak on the results you can deliver, talk about money, talk about profits, talk about cost cutting. What's your unique value proposition that you bring to the table, right? What are you bringing to the table? I think that's like the biggest thing that a lot of people are not understanding is companies want to know what you are bringing to the table. How are they're going to benefit from hiring you? So that's not being communicated at all. And then let's look at the first. I'm only going to look at the one work experience, and whatever mistakes I point out there, it's exactly what you're doing in all the other roles. Design, implement SQL and Power BI dashboards. That's the job description. Workflow and enable data-driven decision-making, driving 40% improvements in resource. First, the entire bullet first row reads like a job description. Then you say 40% improvements, but I don't know what 40% improvements look like because I don't know what it looked like before that. First of all, it's not a powerful statement simply just because it's very generally written and just you saying you're talking on your job duty. Versus talking about when you say design, implement SQL and Power BI dashboards, that's your job description, right? But when you start talking about one thing you've done and how the company benefited and the results you got, it becomes more powerful than just saying it generically. Director cross-functional teams to deliver 5 clean energy projects. Great that you directed a team, but now I don't know what these cross-functional teams look like. I don't know what these 5 clean energy projects were, who they were for, including US. Okay, you talked about that. Now, here's the problem with this bullet. You've lumped all these 5 projects into one bullet. When each project will have its own challenges, its own problems, its own hiccup, its own budgets, its own delivery. None of these projects are going to be completed the same way or have the same outcome at the end. And now this is how you're losing out. And the results are not going to be the same. Like US Army and Navy are not going to have the same outcome and results. So that's the problem with that bullet. So, okay, I've looked at 2-3 bullets of yours. I can tell you the major problem with the work experience is that you're too busy generalizing that you can do X, Y, and Z versus really focusing on individual wins that you've had, individual projects, and how you tackle the problem. And the thing is, when the reader's reading your resume, you're not sitting next to them. You're not having a conversation with them. Your resume has to be the conversation. Hope that helps.
Yeah.
Okay. Quick question before I move on to the next person. Do you know how to write a resume that's going to land you interviews? Just be honest.
Is this question just for me or?
Yeah, you, because I just finished reviewing your resume.
Yeah, I think I got a good perspective in terms of focusing more on the results, being straight to the point. So, and also from the point that you mentioned, it arises a question like the bullets I have kind of listed in a more generalistic way so that it kind of passes through the ATS for
no, I
different
didn't.
sort
I
of
actually
roles.
didn't even talk about the ATS. It wasn't my focus was in the ATS. I didn't say anything about the ATS.
Yeah, so
I'm focusing on
what you suggested was to keep more focus on the results and actually talk what is the value that we bring to the organization through our
Sorry?
edition. What is the value, like communicating what is the value that we bring to the organization?
What is the value you bring to the organization? Is that your question?
No, I'm saying that is what a resume should be doing.
Communicate the value you bring to the table?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, that's correct. Now let me ask you a question. Do you know the value you bring to the table? See, there's so much talk on talking about the value you bring to the table. Now, I want to ask a question. Do you know the definition of value? The value you bring to the table. Let's talk about that, because I just every time I say this and then I ask this question, everybody answers the question wrong. I want to know, do you know the value? What is, when you hear the value you bring to the table, what does that mean to you?
The different skill sets that I've acquired over time and how I can help solve a problem within that company.
How is that value add to the employer?
Not 100% sure, but I'm guessing because they're looking for someone to solve a particular problem, and if I have done similar things in the past.
See, that's the problem, right? You don't actually understand the value add, right? If you don't understand the value that you can add to somebody, then how can you know what to write for the value, right? This is exactly why I'm asking you this question, is because there's so many people, so many recruiters, anybody that's providing advice on resumes, everyone's telling you to write, the value you bring to the table, but no one's telling you what that actually looks like. What does that mean to the employer? What does that mean to the recruiter? What is the value add? And I'll be honest, it is not your skill sets. Skill sets is not a value add. It's great to have, but that's not a value add to the other human being. Keep in mind that the person you're communicating to this isn't a human being. And if you don't know the problems you can solve and what problems you can solve for them, how can you write a value proposition statement? Right?
Yeah.
And this is the reason I asked this question is, like, I've reviewed tons of resumes every week, and I know 9 out of 10 people, when they leave the session, they don't know how to write a resume that will land them interviews, or can do it exactly what I'm saying. Like, the value add's the most important piece. You have 3 years of experience, 3+ years of experience. So to land, it's the goal shouldn't be just to land interviews. The goal should be to land interviews for the role that you're ready to move into next. So first step is, what is that role that you're ready for? What role do you want? I don't mean job titles. The minute I ask this question, people just start throwing job titles at me, and I was like, no, I don't. It's not job titles. You have to sit there and ask yourself the deep, hard questions. What do you want out of your career next? And finally, this is the number one mistake that's being made when when career professionals like yourself are looking for the next opportunity. You're basically you're blindly entering the battlefield unprepared. You're just chasing the job titles. Yet what you need to do in order to succeed is first get clear on what is it that you want. What do you want next in your career? You got to be in the driver's seat of your career to win, right? To be successful, it starts with, I posted this over the weekend. To be successful, number one thing is you got to stop making the excuses. And number two is you got to start holding yourself accountable, right? Now, this is where that excuses and accountability comes in. The first thing, what people are not doing is, people have a lot of excuses of why they're not doing what I'm telling them to do. But the first step is you got to hold yourself accountable. Are you holding yourself accountable for your career? Accountability starts even like if you want to be successful in anything you do, you have to know what you want, why you want it. So if you want to be successful in landing job interviews, you have to get crystal clear on what is it that you want next. So I have 20 years of working in corporate HR, and I have 20 years of experience helping career professionals internally and externally mapping out the career. I found that a lot of people are not doing this. One simple thing is having your whole career mapped out from start to finish. Where do you want to end up? Like, where do you want to end up in your career? That's the first thing you got to identify, and then work your way backwards. Like the highest position that you would look, what's that end goal in mind though?
I mean, so if for the benefit of myself and also for the audience, like, would you mind answering that question? Like, if you have to answer that, like, what is that you wanted to become like 20 years ago, and like, how would you put yourself out there, saying what is your value proposition? Probably
See,
that.
look what you're doing. You're deflecting, right? You're asking me to answer this question and then answer what my value proposition. I'm asking you a very simple question. What do you want out of your career? If you're not able to answer that question, this goes back to exactly what I was saying. You don't know what you want in your career. What happens is when you don't know what you want next, companies, I speak from 20 years of working in HR, company is going to have a field day with you, meaning they're going to lowball you. They're going to underpay you. They'll just give you any role and you'll just be happy to take it. Companies are going to take full advantage and manipulate you. And that's exactly how you get taken advantage of by companies, by your bosses, by your managers, because you don't know what you want. And this is where accountability comes in. You got to hold yourself accountable to know what you want. You're asking me. I actually did know what I wanted in my career, what I want to end up in.
No,
And
yeah, I was just asking because you told roles is not what you're trying to hear, or that is not the right answer. So
the role isn't the right answer, right? The role here is, do you know what you want? Where do you want your career? What's your end game in your career?
to lead a
Like, I
product,
knew since
yeah.
I was 16 that I want to be an entrepreneur. Crystal clear. That was my end game, right? How am I going to get there? I mapped everything out.
Right.
To be successful in your career, you have to know at every given moment what is it that you want. What is it that you want? And this is the number one missing link to your success and everyone's success that's listening to this. This is where 99% of people who are looking for jobs go wrong, is that they don't know what they want. They don't have a end game, right? Like, I want to be X. I know since I was 16 that I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to have my own business. I'm going to go into business. So hence I'm able to now map this out. How am I going to get that? How am I going to accomplish that? What do I need? Right? So same thing. And this is exactly what I did internally with internal employees. Career mapping. It's called career mapping. You're mapping your entire career. If you want to be successful, that's what you have to do. You have to map up your career. Like, at least map it up to 5 years. And then that question, what do you what's your 5-year game plan, which is a typical question, one of the typical questions that are asked in the interview. It becomes a piece of cake to answer because you already know what you want in 5 years. From 5 years from now, where you want to be, because you mapped it out. You don't have to give a generic answer. You don't have to look for Google to tell you how to answer that question, or turn to ChatGPT and tell you how to answer that question. You'll know because you already have your game plan in play. And that's why people, in interviews, that question is being asked. It's not to make interview process hard. It's just to simply nobody wants to hire somebody who doesn't know what they want. I'll be simply honest. No company out there want to hire people who don't have a vision for themselves. Like, instead of writing your visionary and stuff, show it. Like, to me, I'll be honest, when I screen resumes, half the time that people are writing words, I don't believe anything that people are writing on their resume. They're visionary, that this and this and this, because the reality is, I know from working in HR for 20 years, like, there's only 1% of people out there that actually know what they want. They have a clear direction. They truly are visionary. Visionary doesn't just mean being a visionary in the work you're doing. Visionary means being a visionary in your entire life, your personal, your career. But that's where people go wrong. You can't answer the question how you add value when you don't know what your end game in your own career is, what you're thriving towards. Hope that makes sense.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
And how to add value, I actually teach this. I teach everything I'm saying in my resume writing course. I've dropped the link, and I'm offering 50% off today, so feel free to grab it. Okay, so let's move on to the next person. Harsh. Those that are in the studio with me, in order to get your resume review, you have to have your resume ready to share. Those that are already sharing their resume, people I will be calling up on to get their resume. Hi, Harsh.
Yes, hi. Can you
Hi.
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
Good. How are you today?
I'm great, thank you. So tell me, are you currently looking for a job?
Yes, my contract is over and I'm currently looking for a new opportunity as a data analyst or a business intelligence analyst.
And how is that going?
It's going pretty good. Market is like in January, so everyone budget is like up to date. So like I seen a lot of roles came out on January. So I've been applying at least, I would say, 150 jobs or somewhere 200 jobs, and I get like at least 10 to 15 calls for interviews.
Okay.
And somehow some went very well, some didn't went very well on first round. So I 3 or 4 rounds I went till the last round and then I got rejected. So I need to improve that way on the last round, how I can show them my ability or my work or like any way like communication or
So can you repeat that?
so in a 4 or 5 um
So how many, okay, let me navigate this conversation. How many jobs have you applied to?
like 150 to 200 somewhere.
Because let's go with 200. Out of the 200, how many first calls have you received? And the actual initial call?
Like a first call, okay, 20,
Yeah,
somewhere 20.
your resume is converting 10% of the time to interviews.
Yeah.
So so what does that tell you? 20% is 20% is the conversion rate of your resume converting into interviews.
So somewhere I'm like my resume is working out. That's I'm assuming.
Somewhere your resume is working out. Okay.
To get me a call for first time.
So you're happy with the 20%?
I'm not happy with that, but what like I'm doing my best what I can.
Okay. Can you just first of all, is this resume 1 page, 2 page?
One page.
So let's turn this into 2-page. Also, can you zoom in?
Oh, yes. How I can zoom in?
Are you sharing a screen or you uploaded a document?
I uploaded the document.
Okay.
Should I share my screen? Is it?
You're able to zoom in if you actually share the screen versus
Okay, I will share the screen. Okay.
just uploading the doc.
Okay, now you can share my now you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, now you'll be able to zoom in. If you can zoom in kindly, that'd be great.
Yes.
One more time. Okay, perfect. So you want to change this into 2-page. I
Okay.
would write your credential letters right behind your last name. I'm not sure why you have a GitHub. LinkedIn is great, open to relocate. Okay, so when we
GitHub is for the portfolio that
but you're
like
data analyst, so I'm not sure. Like you need a portfolio if you are a full a designer.
Okay.
So I don't think anyone would be looking at your portfolio for as a data analyst, to be honest. And also, I don't know what information you have on in your portfolio, but when you're doing data analytics, a lot of this information is confidential.
Okay.
So I don't know if you're sharing company information because the data is sorry.
No, that's not that way. It's my personal project where I was learning and where I whenever I was in my college academic year,
Okay.
whatever projects I have built or whatever work
Okay.
I have done, those are the
Sure. I
personal project.
I don't know if anyone's gonna look at that, but
Okay.
when it comes to data analytics, how many years experience do you have? Like
I have
that's not being communicated. You're saying you're result driven. Result driven is the most common overkill word that's being used on everyone's resume. If you're saying specializing leveraging data driven solution, but you're not telling me how many years experience you have. So the first thing you want to communicate is how many years experience you have in what industry, so that right away tells the reader the most important information. Now, certified Microsoft Power BI data analytics, I would maybe say that right in the beginning that you're certified Power
okay.
BI data analytics and fabric analytics. Now, when it comes to data analytics, what are your specialty? What's your specialty? What's your genius? What are you genius in when it comes to data? That's the first thing you want to communicate. Honestly, get rid of your profile summary. All you're doing is just listing a bunch of skills. You can easily take all that information and throw it into a nice skill table.
Okay.
Not an actual table, because once you throw a table on, if you put a table on your resume, sometimes not all ATS can read a table. Some
Yeah,
can,
yeah.
some can't. So simple rule of thumb is to make it ATS, it should just be put into simple text. So that's what I will do there. Design and implement a Power BI dashboard to track operational performance in the process, providing real-time insights into bots. That whole sentence is one too long. Number two, you're throwing a bunch of things, so the information is lost. I don't know what you're trying to communicate now. And then you say resulting in 50% improvements in operation efficiencies. I don't know what the benchmark is. I don't even know what that looks like. So that's where you're losing on that bullet.
Because I already put the details like a batch sterility trend and the compliances metrics. Those
I
are like a compliance metrics
yeah,
in
but
the FDA and
you're
GMP area.
mhm.
If the whoever works with the pharmaceutical industry, they can easily understand what are the metrics.
How can I easily understand what the matrix is when you're not telling me? You're
So,
saying resulted in 50% improvement in operational efficiency. How would I know what 50% looks like?
so you don't know the before. So okay, I see. Okay.
Got it? Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. led an end-to-end data analysis project. Also, your entire bullet, the one I just read, all you're doing is throwing a bunch of stuff into it and not even know, you designed and implemented Power BI dashboard to track operation and quality performance in the process. But which process are we talking about? And then how did this data help? In what way? You're just throwing real-time insights into batch, complex matrix, compliance matrix, and production bottlenecks, and then boom, resulting in this. The entire sentences doesn't flow. It doesn't capture interest, and then obviously there's no before and after. Led an end-to-end data analysis project using SQL to optimize search performance and ensure reliable data delivery. But you're just saying data. You're not clarifying which data we're talking about.
Okay, so like it's I was working in a
Hold
pharmaceutical
on 1
industry.
second. I want to say something to you and everybody. I forgot to mention, when I review resumes, I'm not asking you questions. I'm giving you I'm reviewing and telling you, right? So I review resumes exactly like if I was recruiting for data analytics in this case, and your resume I came across your resume. Now I'm going through it.
Okay.
There's no luxury in when a recruiter or hiring manager is reviewing your resume, you're not sitting next to them. So if I don't understand something, I don't understand it.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's how I give feedback, right? So if you're gonna, that's why I just want you to take notes. Like, there's no opportunity here for you to explain something, because the thing is, this is where you're losing out, is that your message is not clear. There's no clarity, right? So you're not effectively communicating what you want to communicate, and hence you're losing out. And the way you communicate in your resume, I can tell you from my own personal experience as a recruiter, as someone who has 20 years in recruiting and hiring,
Mm-hmm.
the way people communicate on their resume is exactly how they communicate in the interviews.
Interviews, yeah.
So hence, those interviews won't land you job offers. The most powerful thing is that you have to be a powerful communicator to land interviews and to land job offers. So your entire resume, all the bullets I'm reading so far, so I'm going to give you a summary. Your bullets read more like a job description versus actually telling the success stories of each of the things you've done in this role and how SCA benefited, what was the results and how they benefited, and how much money did you save them? How much time did you save them? How much money, like, where's the money element? So, like, no companies, you're not doing analytics just for the sake of it. You're building all this stuff to help companies make informed decisions that are going to generate profits for them, that are going to be profitable, saving time and so on. So there's not a lot of matrix going on. There's not a lot of matrix. You come across as somebody who can just do tasks.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, I'm going to move on to the next person. Any questions, Harsh?
No.
Okay. Okay. Akila, you have to hop on the live call. I've dropped the link. Click on the link. If you want your resume review, you have to be inside the studio with me on this live. So it's not LinkedIn Live. You have to be inside the studio to get this, your resume review. So I have dropped the link in the comment section. Feel free to get it. Okay. And then we had a question. I would like to review my resume for free next Monday, if possible. Okay, so I don't take bookings for my free sessions. You have to hop on You have to plug it in your calendar, put a reminder that I'm going to be live, and you have to hop on in StreamYard to be able to get your resume reviews. So there's no reservations. It's first come, first serve. Okay. Roshan. You have to unmute your mic to speak.
Hey, hi, it's Rohan. Hey.
Sorry.
It's all
Rohan,
good, all good.
I
Yeah.
was thinking of the documentary on the Roshans.
Yeah, I was also seeing that documentary.
Sorry.
All good,
Sorry
all
about
good.
that. How are you?
I'm fine. How about you?
I'm great, thank you. Okay, so you want your resume review. So tell me about yourself, like what's going on? Are you currently looking for a job?
Yeah, I'm currently looking out for a job change. It's just that I'm in a very initial stage of like looking out for a job. It's just that like I'm working on my resume to get the resume sorted, and then like my target is like in next 2 months I should be able to get into a new job. So as like professionally wise, should I also introduce like to you as a profession wise, or like should you like
No,
review it on the
I
resume?
just like to first know the status. Are you looking for a job or not? So you haven't started yet, right?
I mean, I have started like I have applied for a few jobs, but like I just started like last week, and
Okay.
I got call from one. It's just that it's in review. It's just that like I have a one interview schedule up for next week, so that's how I'm right now. And also like it's just that I'm not sure like have they reached out to me from the application submission, or like they have reached out to me via LinkedIn, because like a recruiter also reached out to me for the same company on LinkedIn as well. So like yeah, that's how it is.
Okay. I want to take a moment just for 1 second to share how your resume should look like, because your format definitely can get a revamp. When it comes to resumes, I'm going to go over the format and then everybody can just watch the replay if you miss out on this. This is how you want to set up your resume. The final product of your resume should look like this. And now, before I go over this is based on psychology. The way people read in today's world is we're all scanning things. We're not reading every little word on the documents. We're just scanning, right? Because of the world we live in, with we have smartphones, we have devices, social media and stuff. We're all like multitasking, and we have our attention span is less than 3 seconds. So because of the new age, the new world we live in, due to all these technologies, smartphones and stuff, and our attention span is now less than 3 seconds. Nobody is actually sitting there and reading word for word in the first glance. First glances, people are just scanning, and that is also true in recruitment for years. I've been recruiting for 20 years. I can tell you the first thing I do is I scan the resume. I don't read it word for word, right? So I'm scanning for things that I'm interested in. So the first step in your resume is the way you set it up and the way you lay it out. You want it to be scannable, easy to the reader, and easy for them to navigate and scan it quickly. So this is where we leverage psychology plus copywriting. And copywriting is a skill, it's an expertise, and copywriting is all about how to craft powerful messages. Forget powerful, how to craft messages that gets your reader's attention to get them to take action. So you have to know the action you want the reader to take. In this case, everyone's action is the same. You want the reader to call you for the interview, right? So be it recruiter, be it hiring manager, you want them to call you for an interview. Now, what's going to get them to call you for an interview? That's what copywriting is. How you craft those words on your resume is the most powerful thing that needs to be done. So first step is make it scannable so they can easily scan it, right? So this is why, so I'm using one of my clients' resume that I crafted. I've changed the name for privacy purposes. We clearly set out that he or she is an SVP in sales and business development. Because SVP, your leadership, we talk about building high-performing sales teams to boost revenues by 130 million annually. Right away, that's a powerful statement that will grab anyone's attention. Hence, we only bolded the revenue part. Boom, revenue 1 million. Right away connects the dot. The way now this is centered, now this isn't centered and it's into a nice paragraph. Then we got 2 more statements and they're just 1 sentence long. And again, we have a couple of words that are bolded, again, making it easy to scan. There's a lot of numbers on this resume because, again, this is about sales. Then you put a skills table. This becomes really easy to scan quickly. Also, this is also done for ATS. This entire resume, by the way, is ATS friendly. Then the way you set up your experience section is you list the company name and the city and the province or state, your job title. You want to clearly, I see a lot of people do this piece wrong, the date. You have to clearly communicate your timelines. The reader shouldn't be sitting there and guessing what that looks like. I see a lot of people just put the year, but I don't know what that means. I don't know if you started in December 2023, like what month did you start, right? And if you're currently working, then you leave it as present. Then we did a power hook. So these are all hooks, by the way. This is a hook. Each role has a hook statement. Hook grabs attention right away, and boom, again, numbers. Then easily summarized in a paragraph what your responsibilities in the role is, and then we use bullet points to talk about success stories, and again, certain things are bolded. So when someone's scanning this, they're easily able to scan, read the key information, and gather their thoughts to then be like, okay, let me properly read this. You want to get shortlisted from a pile of resumes. And this is how everyone's resumes need to be set up. Now, I do give this template away. So if anybody wants it, let me know in the comment section. I give this template away with a small, short, mini resume writing course to help you. And it's a video guide. So I provide a mini video guide on how to write a resume. So it's ATS friendly resume with the template. I sell this for $7 US, or you can actually grab my entire resume writing course for just $47. So I want to share this because, Roshan, your resume layout definitely needs to change.
Okay. It's just that like I was going through some certain sites and like online AI sites and other ATS compliant websites. So that's how I tailored my resume as per those. But like in fact, like I got a score on my resume like almost like 87%. So but even though like I thought of like checking in with you like with a real recruiter rather than an AI or an platform. So yeah.
Yeah. So my expert advice to you from a recruiter perspective, as somebody who is also an expert in job search, my teachings and methods are backed by science. Plus, I have 20 years of human behavior expertise because my entire field is studying human behavior. So that's why I took the time to showcase you. Because I saw your resume, and I was like, okay, let me take the time to show you how it needs to look like. That's the final product. That's how the end product should always look like. But then how do you get to the end product is where the real work needs to be put in. What I found is a lot of people do this. I'm not saying you've done this, but 9 out of 10 people, what people are doing is actually is that they just sit and write a final resume. Like no legwork, no hard work, no collecting your thoughts, not like were put in before you actually wrote a resume.
Right.
People just go and get a template and then just start filling it out.
Yeah. In fact, like I've also like created one master resume with me, and like from those master like from that resume, like I have catered all these points, which I think like it should be important. So yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm gonna say. The major first step is fix your resume in terms of the layout needs to look like the one I communicated, just showed you. Make it easy for the reader, because first of all, I don't even know, other than your senior data engineer, I don't even know how many years experience you have. You're not making my life easy.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to do. You want to make the reader's life easy. I think this is where the missing link for a lot of times is that we're not making the reader's life easy. We're just complicating it. And the thing is, in the sea of resumes, because when you hit that click submit button, you are now in the sea. You know, the plenty of fish. You're now that one of
Right.
the plenty of fishes in the sea, right?
Right.
You have the odds of landing an interview when you hit that submit button is less than 3%.
Right.
So
like,
how do you now become that 3% that lands the interview when you hit the submit button?
got it. So like onto the top, like I have mentioned 9+ years in the data engineering space. Should I remove that and like add
Oh,
add
sorry,
like
I didn't even
detailed summary?
notice. See, Hadi, I didn't even notice it was there.
Yeah. It should be bold, or okay, I should like create a summary,
Well,
probably the one that you showed.
I wouldn't say create a summary.
Mhm.
What I just showed you was a value proposition statement.
Yep.
It's clearly communicated the value that person's bringing to the table and how the companies are going to benefit, how they're going to profit from this person how they're going to profit from this person as a senior VP into sales and business development, right? Hence why we
Got it.
said additional $130 million in annual revenue.
Right.
We highlighted that, hey, from launching for one company, he generated $200 million from just taking the different products and packaging and creating package offers. That's a lot of money.
Right.
There's no new service, new products, just taking existing products and creating packages out of it. Which
Got it.
company wouldn't want to speak to this individual, right? So in the end of the day, like I see you got $1 million, but in the end of the day, it's all about how you communicate that value you bring to the table. First of all, you have to understand what is value to the person you want to communicate to. And this is the missing piece that a lot of people actually don't understand or know. You're speaking for what you think the value you're bringing. You can't communicate like that, right? You can't
Right.
communicate, okay, I bring this value. I have 9 years of experience. I have this skills. I have this credentials. None of that equals to the person you're communicating, the value add that they're going to get from hiring you. Because you know why? Because everyone is bringing those credentials, 9 years of experience or 10 years or 20 years in the skills. That
Right.
doesn't set you apart. Value proposition is what sets you apart. And sadly, we've been taught that we need to communicate the years of experience we have, the skills we have, and the credentials we have. But that's not the world we live in today. The world we live in today, everybody has the credentials. Everybody has certifications. Everybody has degrees. I wouldn't say everybody has degrees, but everybody has credentials. Everybody has the years of experience and the skills, right? Especially when you start getting into the 9+ years, everybody in your data engineer world has the same skill sets, similar skill sets. I'm using the word similar, not the same, similar, right? So that doesn't become your unique selling point. Plus, let me ask you a question. Why did you show up today? First of all, how did you show up? Are you on my email list? Did you get an email from us, or you just saw the LinkedIn Live and hopped up from there?
No. I got the email from you. Like I'm on your LinkedIn email list.
Okay.
So it does that like I have like taken your service back in August, but from that time I wasn't able to like we have been like exchanging emails, but like it does that like I wasn't able to like access my email from that time onwards, and like got access of my email like a couple of days back. So I was going through
Oh,
my
so you emailed.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you emailed me, not a problem.
Yeah.
Okay. So you emailed me. So now let me ask you next question, right? You've been on my email list. So what do you know about me? how comfortable are you with me? Like, what do you know about me to then want to hop on today? Or the email you sent, right? So see how there's that trust is being built up. You see me as an expert, but I don't say anybody that shows up in this call, I don't talk about myself. I ask
Yeah.
questions about you, right?
Yep.
I'm not saying, hey, I'm Gurpreet, I have 20 years, I'm an expert. Yes, as I'm communicating, I'm saying that. Like, hey, this is how you need to do it. Why? Because I have the inside knowledge because I worked in it for 20 years, right? I slip it after before I make as like to back up that what I'm saying is from the 20 years of experience I have, right? So I back that up using that. So in one essence, you can say you have 9 years, but that information doesn't matter yet until you can prove all the results you can get for somebody, or you've gotten in each of the roles, and then you back that up because I have 9 years of experience, right? So the opening paragraph value add now is, think of it like writing an essay, right? You write a thesis in the beginning. Your first paragraph is your thesis, and all the other paragraphs are supporting. There are supporting paragraphs that support the thesis to prove your thesis point, right?
Right.
That's exactly what a resume is. You have the opening line that's supposed to be your thesis, that then you have your experience section that's your supporting paragraphs to support that. The big claim you make in the beginning is what you need to support. And that's what's going to get you interviews.
Right.
You
Okay. I
just
also
I have this. That's not going to get you anywhere, to be honest.
Right. So it's just that like I do have like almost 9 years of experience. So like how do I show it in the resume? It's just that like right now I'm working with one of the firm. Before that I was working with other. Before that I was working with other firms. So it's just that like should I mention all of the firms, and should I also mention my like designations that I've been into? Like if I mention all of those, then it would be a like a longer resume. So how do I go it from here?
So in order to help you, I've put together a resume writing course that you can take that will help you accomplish this.
Got it.
Because first thing is we have to diagnose your entire career to, first of all, understand when it comes to senior data engineer, what are you actually a genius in? What's your specialty? Like saying senior data engineer, that's just still a general title. That still doesn't speak to the uniqueness of you, your genius of what you're genius in, right? So if you really want to stand out of the crowd, you have to know what you are genius in. And then we can take that information and then write that and communicate it in a way that will get you interviews.
Okay. And also by any chance, do you do like resume writing? I know like you have shared your like coaching, like writing resume writing course, but like by any chance, do you also provide
Yes,
like resume
I do.
writing stuff?
I do provide resume writing as a paid service. We work
Yes.
on one-on-one, but I charge $3,000 for that.
Okay, got it.
You're better off getting into my complete program. I run a live program for anybody. So you have 9 years. You're definitely aiming for 6 figures.
I mean, I'm right now I'm at 6 figures, but like I'm aiming more. So that's why I'm like
6 figures just means 6 digits,
6 digits. That's right.
right? So it doesn't mean
Right.
100K.
Doesn't mean 100K. Yeah.
6 means 6 digits. 100, 150, 200, 300K.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah. I
Right?
mean,
So,
like, yeah.
so you're already making, you don't have to disclose your salary. Whatever you're making right now, obviously you're aiming higher than that.
Right.
So my clients, people that work with me, always get anywhere from 40 to 100K plus more.
Okay.
So you're not getting like 20% bump in salary pay compared to what you're making now. A lot of people are getting 50% increases or more.
Got it.
So I would say, I always tell people, like, I can write your resume, I can do all that. You're better off being in my program, because just resume is one aspect. right now there's so many ways to land interviews. The biggest thing is how your messaging, how you position yourself, how you package yourself, how you talk, how you communicate. How do you do that in interviews as well? How do you land interviews? You don't have to apply to jobs online and land interviews. 80% of hiring actually happens pre-job posting. I just got off the
Right.
phone with somebody who is a VP in a company, messaged me asking if I can recommend anybody for a role that he's looking to hire. This role is not even advertised. This role doesn't even have job description because that's how new it is. Like me,
So how?
he didn't started the process of hiring, but he's already started the process of reaching out to his network, people he trusts. Here's the thing about what I'm about to say next. People reach out to people they trust to then have them recommend people. The trust, right? So a lot of people get hung up over, hey, can you refer me? Refer me. I get so many messages of, can you refer me to your network? It's like, no, I'm not. I don't know you. If I'm going to refer you to my network, it's because these people trust me. So why would I refer a complete stranger? You don't want someone to refer you. You want someone to recommend you. There is a key difference between the two. Like this VP of a really well-known company reached out to me. Like I get these messages regularly. My network's reaching out to me because they know I'm well connected. They know I know tons of people. Right?
Right.
But I'm not.
So
If I'm going to recommend somebody, they know it's credible. I'm not going to just put my name on it. Right away, that person's going to land an interview. And what you do with the interview now, that's in your hands.
got it. So it just since you mentioned like you got to know about the job posting before and because of the network, like is there any other way? Like, I mean, like since you have over a like couple of decade experience in network, so that's why like you are very well connected.
Networking. See, the common mistake people make with networking is they only start to turn to networking when they're looking for a job. Networking is something you do throughout your career, every day, every week. It's not something you do when you land when you're looking for a job. It's something you do while you already have a job, and then when you're looking for a job, you leverage your existing network. This is where 99% of people who are job hunting right now go wrong. They don't have a network to leverage.
Got
So
it.
hence, they're going and networking with new people. Now, networking takes time. Networking requires building relationships. Networking requires turning the people you're meeting into your friends. Hence, I don't like the word networking. I replace networking with the word called friends. Friends are the people that will trust you and will recommend you without you asking for it. When they hear that you need a job, boom, they're already on it. Like one of my friends, when I found out she lost her job, boom, I already made like 10 intros. She didn't ask for them.
Right.
But that's what you do, right? You're friends. Family does the same thing. So you got to have friends in your line of work.
Right.
Your tribe, your people who will vouch for you, trust you, and you do the same. But that's where people go in the wrong way networking. Now, that takes time. That doesn't happen overnight. So when you're looking for a job, you're supposed to look at your existing connections. But now, just because someone's connected to you on LinkedIn doesn't mean they're your network. It's like the biggest misconception people have is like the other day someone reached out to me too, like your LinkedIn connections is not your network. Your followers on your LinkedIn is not your network. It's the people you actually talk to on a regular basis, people who actually know you. Yes, tons of people know me because I put myself out there, right? But that doesn't mean I know them. I don't know you, Rohan. But you know me because you follow my contact, you're on my email list, so you know me now from that, but I don't know you, right? So today, if you ask me to recommend you, I can't because I don't know you.
Right.
But you can recommend me because you follow my work, right? So there's a different, now that's the power of the world we live in today too.
Yeah. So like right now, since we connected, so like what should be the next step so that like you can also recommend me to someone? Maybe like I mean
I'll be
just a
honest.
start just to start for me.
I'll be honest. I don't know you, so I can't
Right.
recommend you, right?
Yeah,
You
that's
want
it.
me if you like I leverage my network for my paid clients. If you're in my 6-figure program, you're gonna get introductions done. I will make the introductions. If we've already are friends, I make the, but we're not, right? So I just because you're on this call doesn't mean I'm doing
No,
it.
no, I'm not saying like introduce me right
No, no,
away. I'm
not
just
you,
saying like
not
what
you.
should be the step for me to like to build a relationship with you going forward, like to be in the network and like obviously to grow as a friends as you mentioned. So
Yeah, to
that's
grow as friends with people that you're meeting through like a social media platform is you have to engage with their content. I've never had you, I don't even know you.
yeah.
Meaning I don't even know you exist simply because you've never engaged with any of my content.
Right.
Just because you're on my email list doesn't mean I know like they're you're
Yeah,
engaged.
of course.
So I don't really know you. One of the best forms, I talk about all of this in one of my courses called The Hidden Job Market, how to land a job without applying to jobs, where 80% of hiring actually happens. Hiring doesn't happen with job postings, by the way.
Yeah.
Right? It's a lot. This is where, like, if you a lot of times I've seen these posts on LinkedIn, fake job posting got posted. Here's the thing: they're not fake. Okay, in your world, seems like they're fake. Sure, a lot of companies, bigger companies, already have people they want to hire, but the policy says post it, so they're gonna just check that box, right? But that doesn't mean they're going to interview. They might start the interview just to then show that they did the interview, but this was the best person to hire, right? So is a lot of I guess lot of what's the right word here? So there's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes.
Right.
Is it
So
fair? Of course it's fair because someone's put like if I'm looking to hire, I'm going to hire someone I trust. Someone, and that's the biggest thing about building those connections is you're not building for the sake of I want a job. You're building it so people trust you.
right.
And they will be able to drop your name in rooms you haven't even entered, right? The famous quote.
Right.
So building in the world we live in today, it's so easy to build relationships with people if you put the time and effort. The thing is, a lot of people don't want to put the time and effort. They just want to say, just send the connection and then send their resumes on LinkedIn. The minute someone accepts your connection, you're just pitching yourself. A lot of people don't want to put the time required to turn those connections into trusted advisors or trusted connections, because that requires time and energy, and people don't want to do it. So sadly, I'm just going to keep it real. A lot of people just don't want to put the time and energy, so they're just taking the easy route and just want to keep it simple, like in terms of, let me just send a bunch of people messages saying, give me advice, here's my resume, refer me. I get these messages every day. Can you do you know anybody that's hiring? Refer me. Like, I don't know you. Why would I invest my time to get to know you, your background, then to go and introduce you to people? That takes time, right? I have to invest my time. I'm not going to invest my time in a complete stranger.
Right.
Vice versa. It's so easy to build a relationship with people like me who are already active on LinkedIn and writing content. Start engaging with their content. Start writing meaningful comments.
Right.
Because what you're doing is you're adding value to that person in a way that will blow your mind. The minute you add a comment to someone's post, it's going to help the algorithm and backend. You're actually adding value to that person now. The minute you add value to somebody, they're more willing and likely to do something for you. There's tons of people that are not my clients, but they added value to me by writing comments, introducing me to people. Like, they're adding value. They're giving something to me. Naturally, I want to do something for you now. This is human psychology. basic human psychology, just how human beings operate. The thing is, we're over complicating everything that's really simple. The minute you understand human beings, you're never going to go wrong in your life. You're always going to succeed.
I mean, I totally agree to your point. But like also to the point, like why we go out on LinkedIn and asking people for referrals. Like
I know
I
because somebody on the internet told you to do it.
No, not that. So it's just that like I see it as a other way around. It's just that like for example, since you mentioned like 80% of the job hirings are like are 80% of hiring is been done before it goes to the market itself. So like for us, like 20, we can only see the 20% of the opening, and like one way to connect people is like to connect with people on the LinkedIn, and then asking for referrals. And by the time they respond, it's just that over like hundreds of people have already applied to the job offer, to the jobs. So it's been such a way, obviously, like I get your point, like networking is like super important, but like the other way around is like,
Networking is about building a relationship. So what
right,
you're
right.
just doing, what you just gave an example is not networking. I just want to make
Yeah,
that
yeah,
clear.
yeah. I totally agree. It's not networking. It's just that like since we wanted to apply to that job, and we know like it'll not be going to be easy. So probably a referral could work.
But why would a complete stranger refer you?
It's just that because like I mean like in the past, because I've also referred someone. I'm not saying like they'll also do the same. Many times I also got to know like they'll not refer me because they don't know me. In fact, like couple of people have also taken my interview before applying to their giving referrals to their company. So like I'm just saying like this is how.
No, but I'm asking this question because I want you to start being smart with your time. Start asking the same question I'm asking you. Like,
Mhm.
why should this person reply back to me? Why should this person refer me? Just don't do something because someone said it to do it, right? You got to start asking these questions. I always tell people, listen, before you message somebody, ask yourself,
So okay, you tell me. So what is the other way then? Like if I see a job opening there, then how should we like apply to that
so
job?
you are okay. You're on my email list, correct?
Yeah, right, right.
Did you take my 4-day career breakthrough challenge back in November?
So that's what I was saying. I wasn't able to access my emails from the August, so
Oh,
I got it.
able to
Yeah,
access the emails from your
right.
office?
No, from actually I wasn't able to log into my Gmail account, and I got
Okay.
the access day couple of days back.
Okay. So how long have you been following me? Okay. Forget the emails. You've been following me. You read my content,
Right, right, right.
right?
It's
I
been like
shared
almost
tons.
6 months.
Okay, 6 months. I've shared
Right.
tons of advice in 6 months.
Right, right, right. I mean, you have shared tons of advice. I'm like following that wholeheartedly, but it's just that like,
I don't know what you're following, to be honest. And I have a lot of information out there, right?
I mean, just
So I don't know. I don't know what you've read and what you follow. The reason I was asking this question was because if you follow me on LinkedIn, then in November I did a 4-day live training which was free. You don't have to have access to your laptop to get access to LinkedIn, right? You don't need access to your laptop to get access to your emails because we have smart
Yep,
devices,
yep,
right? So success happens when you stop making excuses.
yep.
So if you really wanted to learn a lot and start getting results, then you would utilize what's available to you, right? YouTube. I have tons of videos on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel called GKM Coaching, right? So now if you want to learn how to do the questions you're asking, like this segment's all about resume reviews. Yes, I engage in conversations. If you want to learn what's the better way to land interviews, yeah, I teach all this.
Yep.
I teach it in my programs. I teach it in my paid courses. So these are paid, right? I share tons of stuff, but when my paid courses, I share my strategies and step by step how to execute it. And I give you a workbook to go with it and templates to go with it to make your life easy.
Right. Right. Thank you so much for having me here.
Yeah, no problem. I do
Yeah.
have to move on.
Yeah, thank you
Um,
so much.
You're
I'll
welcome.
email you soon about your programs.
Sure, no problem. Okay, so Shira. Sharia?
It's Shreya.
Sharia.
So, how do I share this? Like, I have, yeah. This
Okay,
is my resume.
so let's are you currently job searching?
Yes,
Currently,
I am.
you're currently looking for a job? Okay. How long have you been searching?
It's been 3 months now.
Okay. Out of the 3 months, how many jobs have you applied to?
So I apply on and off, and
I
I
just
think,
need a number. Just need
yeah,
a number.
yeah. So I'm just figuring
100
out the number.
jobs,
It's
200
around
jobs.
500 jobs I've
Wow,
applied. Yeah.
500 jobs?
Yes.
Out of the 500, how many first calls have you received?
I have received like 100, not 150 calls.
50 calls?
Yeah, but most of them got rejected because of my visa status. So
Okay, good information, but I'm not talking about interviews today. I'm just looking at the resume.
yeah, I understand. Yep.
So just the first call.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got rejected because of your visa status.
Yes.
So now I want to talk about this. So you can legally work in the United States? You have to be sponsored?
I can work for like 3 years and then I have to be sponsored.
So I don't see the problem here. If you
Yeah.
can work for 3 years, then what's the issue? So how are you then being rejected for visa when you have
Because
years of visa?
because then the hiring managers say that they are not sponsoring anymore, and most of the companies have stopped sponsoring. So they are like, okay, this position is not sponsored, and there's a
But
ton of things
but,
that goes around.
but you don't need sponsorship because you have 3 years visa.
Yeah, but then ultimately they might have to. So the
But
few
why? Okay, so my question would be now: why are you giving this information that hey, I have 3 years visa, but you would then afterwards have to sponsor me?
no, actually,
Because
I
I want
don't
to
give.
understand how this comes up.
So they ask upfront, like, what
What's
is your visa status? What on which visa you are on? And then I tell them my visa status and my visa name, and then they say, okay, probably we might have to down the line sponsor you, and we are not doing it for this role. So they just cut the call. They don't
okay?
even ask
So
more about
now
things.
that means you're getting in front of the wrong people.
Okay, what?
So if you want to work with the company with your 3 years visa, like someone just abruptly ends the call is like, we're not sponsoring you even though you have 3 years. Like 3 years is a long time, right? So your job search strategy has to be, you're not gonna have any luck. Like 500 jobs in 3 months is a lot of jobs,
Right.
right? And you landed 50 interviews, but if they all rejected you because of your visa, to me, that should tell you something. This strategy, this is not the best approach for you. You need to get in front of the decision maker, the one that holds all the powers, right? The thing is, you got to win them over in this is the problems I can solve, these are the results I can get you. Forget your visa status, right? Someone in the right mind will hire you because you have a 3 years visa, and once you can add value in those 3 years, they will want to sponsor you and put up that cost. The thing is, the conversations that are happening now don't need to happen until once you hit that 3 year mark, right?
Right, exactly. So
Yeah,
that is
so
what.
that's why I'm saying your strategy needs to be different.
Yeah, so I am not sure what strategy should I use, because there are.
So this segment isn't about me teaching you. I'm only doing resume reviews.
Mhm.
So I would love to help you craft a strategy that's going to get you in front of the right people, and
Right.
then win those people into getting them to want to hire you. No questions asked.
Yeah, so how can I reach you for that, and what's the way of doing that so that
You
it.
can message me privately. Just full transparency. I charge I
Mhm.
don't offer anything for free.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I do charge. Also, what salary range are we looking at here?
I currently got like graduated from Northeastern, so
So
I
see the issue you have. Can I point out one mistake you're making? Every time I ask a question, you don't answer it. You go into the background story. So that I call those noise.
okay.
I think that's what you're also doing on the interviews, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're giving out way too much information that's not even needed.
Okay.
You're not
Yeah.
answering the question. Like I just asked what salary. You went in straight into giving me a whole background story about you. I don't want to know the background. I want to know what salary you want.
80,000.
80,000. As a product manager,
Yeah.
you can easily land 100K, by the way.
Yeah, I know that, but then
So then if you know that,
yeah,
then why are you telling me 80K?
because
Listen to the question. I asked you what salary you want.
right.
I didn't ask you what salary you think you can land. I asked what you want. You. What do you want?
Yeah, so that's 100K, of course. Yeah.
Okay. So 100K will require a whole game plan.
Yep.
And how did you come on this call? Did you get an email?
I got an email, yes.
Okay, so that means you're on my email list. Quick question. Did you take my 4-day training that's all about landing 100K plus roles?
No, I didn't take that.
Okay. But how long you been on my email list?
Actually, I'm not sure, but
How long have you been receiving emails from me?
I am not sure. I just saw it today, to be honest.
Okay, somehow you were on the email list. Okay. I dropped the link. Take my 4-part training on landing 6-figure jobs. Let's start there.
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you do definitely need a different strategy. So the
Yeah.
email you received today, you can just fly back to that. But
Okay.
this is where I would tell you to start. But we definitely need a whole game plan on, because of your visa status. We want to make sure your success lies in how you sell yourself.
Right.
And selling isn't about I have this credentials, and I have this certification and this skill sets. That's not selling.
Mm-hmm.
Selling is, do you know the problems the person in front of you? What's their immediate problems that they need solving? How is this impacting their life by having this problem? And the solution to that solving that problem, the results, and how they were going to benefit once you solve their problems. That's how you got to communicate.
Right.
You and everybody, whoever's listening. Okay?
Sure, yeah. Thank you.
Perfect. You're welcome. Okay, guys, so I got to wrap up this call. I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you for tuning in. If you didn't get a chance to get resume review, I do offer private resume reviews. I do charge a small fee of $50. We hop on Zoom. We do a Zoom call, and then it's just me and you on the Zoom call. Also get recorded, and you can get the recording of the session of your resume reviews is private. So feel free to book that. Feel free to reach out to me. I did drop the link to book the private session. I will drop it again. If you don't want to pay, not a problem. You can always catch the free resume reviews. I do this once a week, every Monday around 1 p.m. Eastern, not Eastern time, Pacific time. So you can always wait for the next week's session. Okay. All right. Then have a good day. And if you need any help, you're ready to land those 100K, 200K, 300, 500K roles, for that requires a totally different strategy than just sitting behind a computer and hitting apply button. So I do have a free training on that. I'm actually going to be doing a free training 5 days training in a boot camp style next week on how you can land your next six-figure role, be it 100K, 200, or 500, all the way to 500K. It's a free training. Now, this training isn't for new grads. This training is only for mid to senior level professionals. You cannot be making 100K, 200, or even 500K with zero experience. You have to have the right experience to land those roles. So if you're interested in joining that, send me a private message. Happy to send you the link where you can register before I even put it out in the public. I have not even put this link out publicly, so feel free to message me and I'm happy to do it. Okay. Thank you guys. Have a good day.